Book of Numbers. Chapter 22. And the children of Yashar'al moved, and camped in the plains of Moab on the side of the Jordan across from Jericho. And Balak the son of Zippor saw all that Yashar'al had done to the Amorites. And Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people, because they were many. And Moab was sick with dread because of the children of Yashar'al. So Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this company will lick up everything around us, as an ox licks up the grass of the field." And Balak, the son of Zippor, was king of the Moabites at that time. And he sent messengers to Balaam the son of Berat-Pether, which is near the river in the land of the sons of his people, to call him, saying, "Look, a people has come from Egypt. See, they cover the face of the earth, and are settling next to me. Therefore please come at once, curse this people for me, for they are too mighty for me. Perhaps I shall be able to defeat them, and drive them out of the land. For I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." And the elders of Moab, and the elders of Midian departed with the diviners' fee in their hand. And they came to Balaam, and spoke to him the words of Balak. And he said to them, "Lodge here tonight, and I will bring back word to you, as YAHUAH speaks to me." So the princes of Moab stayed with Balaam. And Elohim came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" And Balaam said to Elohim, "Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent to me, saying, Look, a people has come out of Egypt, and they cover the face of the earth. Come now, curse them for me, perhaps I shall be able to overpower them and drive them out." And Elohim said to Balaam, "You shall not go with them, you shall not curse the people, for they are blessed." And Balaam rose in the morning, and said to the princes of Balak, "Go back to your land, for YAHUAH has refused to give me permission to go with you." And the princes of Moab rose, and went to Balak, and said, "Balaam refuses to come with us." Then Balak again sent princes, more numerous and more honorable than they. And they came to Balaam, and said to him, "Thus says Balak the son of Zippor, Please let nothing hinder you from coming to me. For I will certainly honor you greatly, and I will do whatever you say to me. Therefore please come, curse this people for me." And Balaam answered, and said to the servants of Balak, "Though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of YAHUAH my Elohim to do less or more. And now therefore, please, you also stay here tonight, that I may know what more YAHUAH will say to me." And Elohim came to Balaam at night, and said to him, "If the men come to call you, rise and go with them. But only the word which I speak to you that you shall do." So Balaam rose in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. Then Elohim's anger was aroused because he went. And the Moloch, angel of YAHUAH, took his stand in the way as an adversary against him. And he was riding on his donkey, and his two servants were with him. And the donkey saw the Moloch of YAHUAH standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. And the donkey turned aside out of the way, and went into the field. So Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back onto the road. Then the Moloch of YAHUAH stood in a narrow path between the vineyards, with a wall on this side, and a wall on that side. And when the donkey saw the Moloch of YAHUAH, she pushed herself against the wall, and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, so he struck her again. And the Moloch of YAHUAH went further, and stood in a narrow place, where there was no way to turn either to the right hand, or to the left. And when the donkey saw the Moloch of YAHUAH, she lay down under Balaam. So Balaam's anger was aroused, and he struck the donkey with his staff. Then YAHUAH opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times?" And Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have mocked me. I wish there were a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you." And the donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? Have I been in the habit of treating you this way?" And he said, "No." Then YAHUAH opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the Moloch of YAHUAH standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. And he bowed his head, and fell flat on his face. And the Moloch of YAHUAH said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out to stand against you, because your way is perverse before me. The donkey saw me, and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, surely I would also have killed you by now and let her live. And Balaam said to the Moloch of YAHUAH, I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displeases you, I will turn back. And the Moloch of YAHUAH said to Balaam, Go with the men, but only the word that I speak to you that you shall speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the city of Moab, which is on the border of Arnon at the farthest point of the boundary. And Balak said to Balaam, Did I not earnestly send to you, calling for you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to honor you? And Balaam said to Balak, Look, I have come to you. Now, have I any power at all to say anything? The word that Elohim puts in my mouth, that I must speak. So Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kirjath-Huzith. And Balak offered oxen and sheep, and he sent some to Balaam, and to the princes who were with him. And it was the next day that Balak took Balaam and brought him up to the high places of Baal, that from there he might observe the extent of the people. Chapter 23. And Balaam said to Balak, Build 7 altars for me here, and prepare for me here 7 bulls and 7 rams. And Balak did just as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, Stand by your burnt offering, and I will go. Perhaps YAHUAH will come to meet me, and whatever he shows me I will tell you. So he went to a desolate height. And Elohim met Balaam, and he said to him, I have prepared the 7 altars, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram. And YAHUAH put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, Return to Balak, and this you shall speak. So he returned to him, and there he was standing by his burnt offering, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his parable and said, Balak the king of Moab has brought me from Aram, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Jacob for me, and come defy Yashar'al. How shall I curse whom Elohim has not cursed? And how shall I defy whom YAHUAH has not defied? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. There are people dwelling alone, and not counting itself among the nations. Who can count the dust of Jacob, or number 1/4 of Yashar'al? Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my end be like his. Then Balak said to Balaam, What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have blessed them bountifully. And he answered and said, Must I not take heed to speak what YAHUAH has put in my mouth? And Balak said to him, Please come with me to another place from which you may see them. You only see the extremity, but not all of them. Curse them for me from there. So he brought him to the field of Zophim to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And he said to Balak, Stand here by your burnt offering while I meet YAHUAH over there. And YAHUAH met Balaam, and put a word in his mouth and said, Go back to Balak, and this you shall speak. So he came to him, and there he was standing by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab were with him. And Balak said to him, What has YAHUAH spoken? And he took up his parable and said, Rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, son of Zippor. Elohim is not a man that he should lie, nor a son of man that he should repent. Has he said, and will he not do? Or has he spoken, and will he not make it good? Behold, I have received the command to bless. He has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. He has not observed iniquity in Jacob, nor has he seen wickedness in Yashar'al. YAHUAH his Elohim is with him, and the shout of a king is among them. Elohim brings them out of Egypt. He has strength like a wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Jacob, nor any divination against Yashar'al. It now must be said of Jacob and of Yashar'al, Oh, what Elohim has done. Look, people rises like a lioness, and lifts itself up like a lion. It shall not lie down until it devours the prey, and drinks the blood of the slain. Then Balak said to Balaam, Neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all. And Balaam answered, and said to Balak, Did I not tell you, saying all that YAHUAH speaks, that I must do? And Balak said to Balaam, Please come, I will take you to another place. Perhaps it will please Elohim that you may curse them for me from there. And Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor, that overlooks the wasteland. And Balaam said to Balak, Build for me here 7 altars, and prepare for me here 7 bulls and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bull and a ram on every altar. Chapter 24. Now when Balaam saw that it pleased YAHUAH to bless Yashar'al, he did not go as at other times to seek to use sorcery, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam raised his eyes, and saw Yashar'al encamped according to their tribes. And the spirit of Elohim came upon him. And he took up his parable and said, The utterance of Balaam the son of Beor, the utterance of the man whose eyes are opened, the utterance of him who hears the words of Al, who sees the vision of Al Almighty, who falls down with eyes wide open. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob! Your dwellings, O Yashar'al! Like valleys that stretch out, like gardens by the riverside. Like aloes planted by YAHUAH, like cedars beside the waters. He shall pour water from his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. Al brings him out of Egypt. He has strength like a wild ox. He shall consume the nations, his enemies. He shall break their bones, and pierce them with his arrows. He bows down, he lies down as a lion. And as a lion, who shall rouse him? Blessed is he who blesses you, and cursed is he who curses you. Then Balak's anger was aroused against Balaam, and he struck his hands together. And Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and look, you have bountifully blessed them these 3 times. Now therefore, flee to your place. I said I would greatly honor you, but in fact, YAHUAH has kept you back from honor. And Balaam said to Balak, Did I not also speak to your messengers whom you sent to me, saying, If Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of YAHUAH to do good or bad of my own will. What YAHUAH says that I must speak. And now indeed, I am going to my people. Come, I will advise you what this people will do to your people in the latter days. And he took up his parable and said, The utterance of Balaam the son of Beor, and the utterance of the man whose eyes are opened. The utterance of him who hears the words of Al, and has the knowledge of the Most High. Who sees the vision of Al Almighty, who falls down with eyes wide open. I see him, but not now, I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob. A scepter shall rise out of Yashar'al, and shall subdue the region of Moab, and shall destroy all the sons of tumult. Edom will become a possession, Seir a possession of its enemies, while Yashar'al does valiantly. And out of Jacob one shall have dominion, and destroy the remnant of the city. Then he looked on Amalek, and he took up his parable and said, Amalek was first among the nations, but his latter end is to perish forever. Then he looked on the Kenites, and he took up his parable and said, Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock. Nevertheless Cain shall be burnt. How long until Assur carries you away captive? Then he took up his parable and said, Alas, who shall live when Al does this? But ships shall come from the coasts of Kittim. And they shall afflict Assur and afflict Eber, and he too shall come to utter destruction. And Balaam rose and departed and returned to his place. Balak also went his way. Chapter 25. And Yashar'al remained in Shittim, and the people began to commit harlotry with the women of Moab. And they invited the people to the sacrifices of their mighty ones, and the people ate and bowed down to their mighty ones. So Yashar'al was joined to Baal of Peor, and the anger of YAHUAH was aroused against Yashar'al. And YAHUAH said to Moses, Take all the leaders of the people and hang the offenders before YAHUAH, out in the sun, that the fierce anger of YAHUAH may turn away from Yashar'al. And Moses said to the judges of Yashar'al, Each of you kill those of his men who have yoked themselves to Baal of Peor. And behold, one of the children of Yashar'al came and brought to his brethren a Midianite woman. In the sight of Moses, and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Yashar'al, who were weeping at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. And when Phinehas the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose from among the congregation, and took a javelin in his hand. And he went after the man of Yashar'al into the tent, and thrust both of them through. The man of Yashar'al, and the woman through her body. So the plague was stopped among the children of Yashar'al. And those who died in the plague were 24,000. And YAHUAH spoke to Moses, saying, Phinehas the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Yashar'al, because he was zealous with my zeal among them, so that I did not consume the children of Yashar'al in my zeal. Therefore say, Behold, I give to him my covenant of peace. And it shall be to him and his descendants after him a covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Because he was zealous for his Elohim, and made atonement for the children of Yashar'al. Now the name of the Yashar'ali who was killed with the Midianite woman was Zimri the son of Salu, a leader of a father's house among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi the daughter of Zur. He was head of the people of a father's house in Midian. And YAHUAH spoke to Moses, saying, Distress the Midianites, and you shall smite them. For they distressed you with their schemes by which they seduced you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a leader of Midian, their sister, who was killed in the day of the plague because of Peor.